This is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch at the San Francisco International Airport with my good friend Lawrence T. Lewis.
Oh, fun.
We're about to go to Burbank so I can go to rehearsal with Sylvia Black after my 2 nights of Teenage Jesus and the Jerks in San Francisco, even involving a mosh pit one night. And, well, if somebody can afford it, it might happen again, maybe with you and Kevin Shea. You never know.
Wow.
But anyway, that's where I am. And all I know that you were at the beach yesterday
I
for
was at the
the.
beach all day. No sharks, unfortunately. I was hoping to have an encounter with one, but it didn't happen. But I still enjoyed myself. It was fucking hot as fuck here. And yeah, just chilling here. And now I'm in the
Chilling in the
AC.
95-degree
Well,
heat.
I'm in AC. We just had our little tour with
Oh,
Kevin J up to Canada, and of course the air conditioning in our car on the way back broke. So that was
yeah.
after that long journey, the 3 hour wait at the border to get back into the country I'm a citizen of. We
A country that no longer exists.
well, it's. I mean, let's cut to the chase. This ICE budget is terrifying. It's 75 billion
Oh
that
my God.
has to be spent by 2029. It's more
I
than
got
the
some ideas how to spend it. Build a
well.
fence around the White House, cement it up, and just drop a molly
Well, I mean,
cocktail.
it's more than the FBI, ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshals,
And why doesn't he start with his own kids and
combined.
his why doesn't he
Combined.
start with his own kids and non-citizen wife who had that overgrown child over there before she was even a citizen? So
Well, so they're basically
hypocrisy.
they're
It's the Republic of hypocrisy. Come on.
they're the new national police. So all the Republicans are into states' rights and no federal government. We have this new police that can basically kick in doors, and then if they grab you, there's no due process. Extremely terrifying. And of course, they want to spend that money because it's passed. So they're
Yeah.
basically employing anyone, and guess who? And they're
Oh,
pushing without a vetting process. And guess who's lining? Who's lining up for this? A bunch of basically
corrupt.
no
Yeah.
sadist racists that
Exactly.
no and like they're the guys, and there's no vetting process. Plus they're all cowards, just like Nazis usually are. They
Yeah.
have to cover their faces. They're like, we have to do this to protect them from like their family being attacked. Well, they're attacking other people, and they're cowards. They
Well,
won't show
and
their
the thing is,
face. They
let me
won't show
just
their face.
interject with this, because what is prejudice but fear of other? Why are you so afraid? Because you're a freaking coward. I mean,
Coward. Yep.
circular thought. And then that's just, I don't know if you saw it, I only read about it, how ignorant the Orange Ascalon is when he's meeting with the heads of African nations. And one is proposing, I don't know why, well, Liberia, why don't you come and build a golf course here? I know you're very good at golf. And he's like, oh, you speak really good English, not knowing the national language is
Oh,
English.
oh,
Such a fucking idiot.
Liberia. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
it's a shit show. It's a shit storm. Let's just hope that California and New York will secede. I'm sorry about the rest of the country, but
Well,
I'm
it's
heading right into. I mean, I'm glad I'm heading to LA after the big explosion of the ice age. It's the new, as global warming, as temperatures go up, it's the new frickin' ice age. It's pathetic.
well,
Dumber and dumber every day.
yeah. So and then of course, this is what's interesting with these Texas floods.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Cruz. Just like when they had that deep freeze, he was in Cancun. This time he
Oh,
happens to
yeah.
be in
Of course.
Greece
Yeah.
as over 100 people are killed, and it's this
Oh,
little kid Christian camps, which
yeah. I
swept
did
them
hear,
all away.
I did hear a piece of good news, not for all the other residents of Miami, but that toxic waste is dripping from the nuclear power plant into the water supply. So, one way or another, praying for Mar-a-Lago to get down.
Well,
All I'm
the
saying.
thing is, like Cruz, they all cut. We don't want these like immigrants coming or these illegals coming in and taking handouts. First of all, the biggest welfare queens are the billionaires. I mean, that's just a ridiculous rhetoric,
And the
anyways.
military and the Pentagon,
Well, yeah, for
who
sure.
has never accounted for the money they spend or get.
But actually, there are protections that are in place, and with
How else are we
or
gonna pay for those 800 military bases America has around the
there.
fucking globe?
I should say there were protections in place. So basically, alarms, the weather service, it's all taken away. And so, an assignment I was talking to him the other night, it's like, well, if you're a Christian and you believe in
Yeah.
Jesus and all that stuff,
Oh yeah, they're
well,
waiting for end times. They're
well,
waiting for end
if
times.
you are, what message do you think Jesus is sending you? You're an anti-vaxxer, so you have measles. You basically get rid of any kind of alarm system, so your whole Christian camp gets swept away in a roaring river
Right.
think if you believe in this, maybe there's a message being sent
and,
here.
and really the problem is this. Why is there so much attention to the Texas floods when there's been so many freaking tornadoes and so much flooding? Asheville, we still pray for you all over the country. But why? Because Texas.
Well,
There are
don't
some
worry.
good people. Yeah, we don't
Don't
worry.
worry, don't
We don't.
worry. This will be forgotten about in 2 days because
This
something
could be what?
nuts. Something
What's that?
this will be forgotten about in 2 days because something more nuts is going to happen. I mean that's just the pattern we're in.
True
Um,
that. I
I mean
mean,
so he wants to first of all this guy Sean Duffy who was on
oh,
he was on
idiot.
some like reality show. I don't know Real House. I don't know.
Total another complete idiot.
Yeah. So he's gonna make. He basically went up there. He was on one of these reality shows, one of
Went
the
up
classic
where?
ones. He's got like some YouTube thing, and he's like,
Oh God.
he's like, the New York City subway stinks, and then of course,
Never wrote it probably.
well, then Trump's like, well, you should be the head of our transportation department. Yeah, I mean, it's so dumb. And then there's this other guy, what's his name?
Another idiot.
Nick Adams. He's like this insane MAGA influencer, super into Hooters restaurant chain.
I read about this. Please fill me in.
Yeah.
Aren't they
So,
all in? Aren't they all into fucking
I,
Hooters,
well,
shooters, and
so
and
the thing,
abusers? Wait
the
a
thing
minute.
is,
I think that's the new declaration of the lack of our independence is Hooters.
yeah. Well, so he's super into that. He's so extreme with his bromance with Trump. Uh, he's so extreme that some people think he's like a Andy Kaufman like character. Like it's so extreme they think maybe he's a plant.
Could be an Andy Kaufman ploy, but I mean, finally, the idiot is realizing how Putin and everybody else has been playing this fucking demented, diaper wearing, immigrant fucking and fucking over all the immigrants ass clown that somehow stole his way into being the leader of the free world. No longer
Yeah.
free. America
Well,
never freedom and liberty for all. Ever.
redirection. Let's not talk about America. Or at least
Oh, well, let's
for
not.
now. For now. Latest study out of Atlanta, Dr. Lewis Hecker,
What?
or
Hecker?
Hack, yeah, I think, yeah, that's his name. He's basically saying they might have discovered a fountain of youth. They I don't know if you can guess what it is, but psilocybin, magic mushrooms. They've done extensive studies on mice, and the ones that are constantly given magic mushrooms, I mean, significantly live longer. They have better survival skills.
Well, Timmy is probably going to live to be 100 in that case.
God, thanks. I set myself up. You know what? I don't do it that often, but it reminds me I'm due. I think. I think I am.
All right. You know what? I'm still waiting for them to invent better drugs. I'm just waiting. It might come around instead of just opioids that don't work, except for hooking people on shit that it's a prayer of a hope that you will have no more pain. In the meantime, I'm gonna sit here and finish my wine with Lawrence T. Lewis.
Wait, no Bloody Mary. That's your
It's the
airport
middle
drink.
of the afternoon. Bloody Mary for the mornings.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish my Melbeck with Lawrence T. Lewis, who's arranged my show of Dead Men Talking on this Sunday night in Los Angeles. It's sold out. Don't even bother. Are you listening to this? It's already done. And our special guest is Philip Zimmerman. Connective Tissue goes on. This is Lydian's been with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl.
Safe flight.
Good luck, people. Good
luck.
This is the Lydian Spin with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl, and today I am in the amazing studio of the one of many, Philip Zimmerman, who we should have met in New York a long time ago because he was scouring and scowling around the Lower East Side. He was brought to us by Steve Doughton, who was brought to us by Dave Markey. So the connective tissue is in full accord. So welcome, Philip.
Thank you, Lydia.
Yes, good to see you. I wish I was there, although I'm enjoying Rockaway Beach today, but that looks splendid where you are. In fact,
it's amazing. And Philip had the good fortune of seeing the Teenage Jesus show last night, one of two. And
Congratulations on that, by the way, Lydia.
and he
That's
happens to have a framed Teenage Jesus pink hippie on the wall. So we're going back in time.
all right.
So we were just talking, we were just going to scatter, shoot all around. We
Sure.
were just talking that you had were given, or you were archived with Camille O'Grady, who was a very unique figure on the New York scene in the 70s, around mid 70s to early 80s.
Early 70s.
Early
And
70s.
she left New York in 79.
Speak louder.
Oh,
And who was a drag king.
yes. Jack Savage was her name.
Okay.
And she would perform in
Mine Shaft.
the Mine Shaft. She's kind of notorious for that. And then she moved out to San Francisco and got connected with Robert Opel, who ran Fay Way Gallery, which was a leather and S&M art gallery here in South of Market. So,
And tell the story you told me about what happened.
well, after the Moscone Milk assassination, Robert Opel decided to do sort of an agitprop theater performance where it was like, what would happen if I shot Dan White? And he performed that during the Gay Day Parade, and they got a lot of blowback from that. And then a couple of weeks later, two guys came into the gallery, tied up Camille, and then shot Robert Opel down.
Murdered him while she was there, tied up.
Oh my God.
And they
That's
threatened to kill her, but she did some kind of weird witchy
Of
voodoo
course,
stuff,
of course
and
it
she
did.
freaked the guy out.
Nice.
And
Whoa.
so he didn't shoot her. He had the gun right at her head.
Well, and like I always say, don't let me haunt your ghost. Like if you die a dumb death, I might haunt your ghost. This is kind of the reverse of that. You don't want an angry ghost on your tip,
Right.
motherfucker.
Well, Lydia, didn't you have an experience? You were living in kind of a rough neighborhood, and your roommate was being held up with a gun, and you opened the door, and they all freaked out and ran away.
That was with Marty Nation in Venice,
Oh.
Gangland. They had a shotgun to him, and I opened the door, and they saw the witch, and they just ran away. Oh, I come up with that. It pays to be a witch sometime. But anyway, so Philip had ran away to New York with Steve Dowden.
That's right. That's right. We did a drive away. He arrived there in the middle of winter.
Did you know that you wanted to go meet some certain people, or you just knew you had to go to? Were you in Portland first at that time?
I was in Portland, and then I moved down to San Francisco. I was there for about 9 months, and then from there, Steve came down to San Francisco, picked me up, and we drove across. Yeah. So.
Did you say, okay, did you know anything that was, I mean, you knew it was New York, it was happening.
Right.
You had to go there.
I had to go there. So you were there. There were other people that I was aware of what they were doing. You know, it's just like, yes, this is where I need to be.
Were you aware of David Wojnarowicz before you went there? Or Peter Luger? I mean, Peter Hujar. Peter Luger's a steakhouse. Peter Hujar.
Stephen
You can
told
use a
me
steak right about now.
David, because he had been there briefly and met him before. So yeah, I knew about him, but I wasn't all that aware of what he was up to. You know, he's just like another artist.
Yeah.
Who was working.
And then supposedly, I remember this not, Philip actually came over to my house when I was living with Thurwell in a storefront on East 12th with David and with Steve.
That's
Dowden.
right.
Like what?
Right.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember everything.
Right. Well, okay. Now I can tell you this since we went to this.
Yeah.
This is going to be really weird, but
What is it?
one of the things
Hear it.
after I met you, I think it was the next day or something, I just wanted to like say, you know, acknowledge the meeting. So I took all the pennies that I had saved up and I dumped them through the mail slide in the door of your apartment. Do you remember a bunch of pennies on the floor?
Pennies from heaven, I do not. You know, if it would have been hundos.
How many?
That's so weird. But it was
That's,
like,
I mean, what a great What a
Sort of
great
like-
act. It's like shop dropping.
Right.
Instead of like stealing $10 out of my pocket, you came and put some pennies.
Right. It's
On
kind
the
of like
floor.
an offering. It's
And-
like all I had was just like,
And I mean, I don't remember it at all, but can you imagine? You wake up and there's a bunch of pennies
I
on the
know,
door. You're
it's
like, what the fuck? This is like positive voodoo. Like,
right.
what am I supposed to do with these? I could go buy a bagel. I mean, that's all we lived on. So I guess that was generous of you. Thank you. Cold and cream cheese.
I thought, oh God, if she ever found out, she's really gonna hate me now.
Well, actually, I like you very much. And next time, make it a hundo. So you're in New York and you meet Richard Kurt and David and all these. So, because you meet everybody. But what did you do when you first got there? Like, there you are. Did you have somebody to stay with?
Yeah, we landed at Keith Davis's loft.
Who's that?
He was an artist and graphic designer who was from Oregon.
Okay.
Initially.
So did you know him from there?
I did not, but Steve
Okay.
had that connection. So Keith put us up, and then it was a lot of the connections were through Keith.
Right.
So
Where was he living? Was he on the
was
Lower
living
East Side
on
or Soho?
Suffolk Street, lower.
The real Lower East Side.
Yeah, below house.
When there was nothing.
Yeah, he had a loft there.
Yeah.
And,
Lofts were prime real estate then.
yeah, he had great lofts.
And so you're there. What do you do? I mean, look, at least I only need about $10 a day to live in those days.
Wow.
What did you do? You get there, you're an artist, you're there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you making art, showing art, hanging out, going to the mine shaft?
Well, I wasn't really didn't know much about the sex clubs and stuff like that at that point, but I was there doing the art thing, and one of the guys at the Whitney had made a studio visit in Portland and said, come to
Okay,
New York.
already.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking amazing.
So there was
I
a
mean-
connection that way.
You lucky dog. I mean,
But
that's
then-
a big thing.
Then he said, bring what
Yeah.
and when I walked up there and showed him, he said, I don't know why you're here. Basically,
What? Not even 15 minutes of success. We're like
right,
5 seconds.
Right.
Get out. That's
Exactly.
enough from you, kid.
right. So I showed him I enrolled my demon painting with the big heart on, and all
Well,
of that.
okay. Yeah, show him a demon painting with a big heart on. How about for the Whitney? Let's go. I mean, liberal to
Right.
hardly, whatever.
I mean,
Were you
was
walking
spiritual.
around with rolls of canvases under your arm?
I actually was.
I had a feeling you might. Now I see some poster rolls. At least you got rolls for them now, right?
Right. A little professional.
So I was really impressed. Steve Doughton gave me your self-published book, which is beautiful, and it really showcases the diversity of your work, because it's hard to sum it up. Like I see collages, assemblages, paintings. You just gather, create, and what comes out, and then you made this book because, like we all have to, DIM, do it myself.
Exactly.
And so the way people can get that is through, even your website needs to be updated, my friend. It's kind of old.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just saying.
Instagram might be a little better.
That sounds good. Okay. We need to also decide whether you're Philip Zimmerman 1, 2, or 10.
Right. I got to work on that. I also have a Zebulon, and sometimes I use that name, but that causes a problem
Because there's a club in LA called Zebulon.
Right.
Yeah.
coffee shop here called Zebulon. So
You better get it together. I mean, you expect the Whitney to come knocking on your door again? It's like they're gonna see that. I love this is fantastic.
with the goat.
Oh yeah,
Goat skull. That's actually from a friend of mine who's
that's really great too.
passed away now. Eric.
Guys, can you show it to me? Could you aim the camera?
What was that?
The goat on the wall.
Oh,
with
Oh, I want to see.
No, this place is amazing. So you're in New York. How long do you stay there? What are you doing? Because that was the prime time. I mean, cities all have. I think of creativity, or before the internet, especially, that there were places that were just magnets for people. Like Haight-Ashbury in the '60s, L.A. and New York and London in the '70s. Paris in the '30s.
Paris in the 1910s.
What?
Paris in the 1910s.
Yeah. Exactly. And Berlin. And, it just goes through fate. Before the internet, places just had, either from the economy or some kind of bizarre pull for people to come there. and like a rogue virus creativity did that. So how long did you stay in it? What did you? All right, now you got to make some money. You got to do something. What are you doing?
So well, Keith gave Steve and I little jobs, illustration jobs.
We didn't need much in those days.
Yeah. So we got by, but then I eventually got a job as a security guard at MoMA, which
You should.
which didn't last very long.
That's such a horrible job.
It's horrible. It's awful. So I had to quit that one, and then I would just do like temp work,
right?
Things like
and
that.
Doing your art,
and
start having shows then,
right?
Because you could actually have a show then. Yeah. Now, what about this piece here with the handcuffs, the skull, the coffee cup, and that's really beautiful.
Well, that's one of mine, but
I'm going to show you that, Jim. Anyway, it's over there somewhere. You can see it. That is exactly up my alley because it involves an architectural design that looks like it came out of a church. It could be like where a statue is now a skull has replaced it with dark handcuffs hanging off of it. It looks quite satanic, and thank you for that, Demon Master.
Thank you. Thank you.
It looks very cozy, this place, and you guys are both wearing long sleeves. I mean, it's like scalding where I am, and you have this.
He's got thermal undershirt.
You guys are both in these comfortable clothes, and
he's got thermal. He's got a thermal undershirt on. I mean, I'm always hot. I'm not wearing any thermal or panties, but what else is new? Way it is. How long did you stay in New York, and what was your, what drove you out of there eventually? I guess economy.
Well, I left in late '89 and moved out here. I had a partner who moved out before me, and so it was sort of like, do we stick together or not? And also, people kept telling me, your work is more like West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like
meaning what? A little more S&M, a little what is West Coast?
More. I mean, Neo Geo was like coming in there to the fore there in New York in the late '80s, and even David was having some problems with that with his work. David
Wojnarowicz, I mean, who is so diverse as well. I mean, what an inspiration!
Amazing guy. So, and I missed home. I missed the West Coast, so it wasn't that hard to move out.
Yeah, and I mean that's enough because by '89 it was over. I mean that phase was. I mean that was, Times Square was becoming the Disneyfied version. Thank you, cocksucking.
Well, 96.
What?
96 was the official year. That was like 89. Yeah, I could see that was over.
Was
but 96 was literally a switch went off, and suddenly it was full on Disney World. It was weird.
Horrible.
It was weird.
Well, I mean, I left for the first time. I think in '80. Went to the West Coast. And I just kept zigzagging and, went back for a while. And then but I was like, all right, this place, whatever. People always think that, LA, New York, London, Berlin. Look, there's a lot of good weirdos just about everywhere. You just got to find them. I don't think you should move to fucking New York. You can't even afford to visit it now.
Exactly. And we're out here. We're everywhere. So
yeah.
When was the last time either of you met and ran into an interesting weirdo?
Last night about there was a fucking mosh pit for teenage kids.
Whoa! All right, okay.
A full-on mosh pit. I'm like, all right, kids. 50 years later, you went born. Did your granny turn you on to this?
But Lydia, were there ever mosh pits of the original?
No. Was there ever? Tim, was there ever an audience for the original Teenage
Right, there you go.
Audience of 10, and even some of them had to leave.
No, it was amazing to see the reception. It's just like wow.
a lot of kids born like 22 years ago. I'm like, how did they even find out about this shit? And I have to say, Paul Stores, Jay Korber did a great job. 2 rehearsals, we nailed it.
Awesome.
A lot of fun. One more show, and who knows? We'll bring it somewhere else if they can afford it. Good times.
Yeah, dude.
So I mean, that was fun. So you came out here. So then what? You have to reestablish.
Right, and that took a long time. And San Francisco's a cold place.
It's difficult. I mean, there are pockets. There are pockets of scenes. There always has been. Right. There's always been like V-Vale with research. She was at the gig last night.
But can I ask you this? Not to interject, but I feel like every place is worse than it used to be. I mean, we talk about New York is going down the tubes. San Francisco, when I go there, this is a world-class, incredible city. I feel like I don't recognize it at all.
Yeah.
Well, what's weird is there are parts that have just been overrun, and then there are parts that are overrun down. So, and it's got really that extreme, but there's still pockets of weirdos. And, there's still like the knockout club scene. There's still, I wish Survival Research would stage more shows. There's always pockets, and I don't care how small the town is. But the thing is, there's a lot of, look, I don't cross the river from Brooklyn to go into Manhattan if I can avoid, unless I'm paid, because I don't recognize that either. Although, they can't really change the architecture on the Lower East Side very much, but certainly they change the rents.
Right.
What was once $75 is now $4,500.
I tell you, the last time I was in New York was like 2003, 2004.
Whoa.
And
what other? Yeah.
Really long.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And I went down, just walked past David's old apartment, on 12th and
Right.
2nd, and the door was open. So I walked up, and it was like middle of the day, like noon, and up inside of his apartment, you've been in there,
Yes.
right? They were building partitions, and they put a wall right through the middle of his kitchen, and there was a wall being put right through the middle
And
of
other
the
it's
spot
quarter size.
where his bed was, where he died. They put a wall right through that. It was like the most egregious sort of desecration, of a really important space.
Well, and
Couldn't believe it.
You can't turn a dead man's apartment into a mausoleum unless they died maybe in 1910 in Paris. Actually, you can even do that. So, sacred spaces mean something only to those that find them sacred. Oh, that's a good line. Better write that one out. Not a bad one. Whatever. So, what was some of the music you'd go and see when you were in New York in that period? Because you were right for there was a lot of stuff going down.
There was. Well, I didn't go out a lot because I was busy working, but I went saw some of the industrial bands that came through.
Okay.
Nico, was it?
Saw Nico.
I was a big Nico fan.
Me too.
Yeah.
Saw Nico where?
At the Pyramid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Like what year was that? Like
That must have
80,
been
early, mid-80s?
86, yeah.
Okay.
She was doing it by herself.
Her
She was a
harmonium.
harmonium,
Okay.
yeah. And I gave her a drawing, so I did this whole thing, and it was really creepy and weird.
Well,
but I had to do it.
The thing about Nico, I mean, the curse of beauty, like so beautiful, became a curse, became a heroin addict, turned into as all reports, kind of a stenchy beast, and just eventually fell down on a bicycle and died. But I mean, those early records, her first two records they were monumental in cutting a new and very depressing ground. And it's interesting, Tim, yesterday at a coffee shop here, I met a friend of Grace Berger, who we had on the show, who had a bit of a flavor of Nico without being as heavy, has a bit of that staid, kind of dark glamour.
Okay. So how was that Nico show at the Pyramid?
Oh, it was actually kind of a revelation because I remember her playing Henry Hudson just with the harmonium, and it was I just like, oh my God, now I know what she was really doing with that song.
Right.
And when she had the band behind her, it kind of made it a little less clear.
Did she play the end?
Yes, she did.
Oh, that must have been amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been great. I've done the end by the door, sometimes a cappella, sometimes with a band, sometimes just in the shower. Father, I want to.
Did you ever see Klaus Nomi live?
No.
I did not, but I was listening to it. Yeah, at that point.
Did you ever eat any of his pastries?
Bread, right? Baker, right?
No, I was aware of him though. Sure.
But Camille O'Grady. So, how did you find out about Camille O'Grady? Because that again, New York at that period, and we're talking. She started early 70s, and I was just telling Philip this story that the first time I ran away to New York, I don't even know how I found out about this. It was at an uptown cabaret, and correct me because my memory has so many holes, you could, strain pasta through it. But I saw Cherry Vanilla and Wayne County, Wayne and, and Wayne Jane had a toilet on the stage. And it was, I think it's 73 at a cabaret uptown Manhattan somehow. I don't even know how I found out about it because, no internet then. And Cherry Vanilla at that point, like Debbie Harry a few years later, was just the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your life. She was just
Really?
so stunning. Oh, she was so beautiful. And, this was the period she was connected with Bowie and was managing or promoting, whatever. But I'm thinking of like Wayne Jane County, who I wrote a fan letter to and wrote me back, and we became pen pals. Weird. And then met Wayne Jane. We had a common enemy years later. But that kind of weird cabaret and those dark early performances, non-binary, didn't say the word non-binary then, whether it was drag or whatever, there was that scene, which was another scene altogether, which like Emilio Cubiero came out of, and even Cookie Mueller, and then the subside of that is like John Sex, Klaus Nomi, and Joey Arias, and all of this, which was really so diverse. And actually, the names I just named are kind of what Joseph Keckler is the next step forward from in some strange way. We have Joseph Keckler taking up that throne of whatever it was that made people deliciously weird.
Yes.
But
Well,
it's going out and seeing live music. Was that not? You're saying you're just working all the time. Was that just not your general vibe, right?
yeah, I'm a little bit shy, so going out, being around people I don't know is kind of hard. So,
He let me into his private studio.
well, you kind of,
I see.
you've been here already for a while.
But wait, Tim, I have to point out my Ink Teenage Jesus framed EP is next to a photo of a painting of a cop. It looks like a thrift store painting.
It is the San Francisco cop, though. From 58.
Well, you don't know my issues with police, but we'll go into that some other time because everybody's well aware.
Were you shy growing up?
I'm sorry. What was?
Were you shy?
Shy growing up?
Yeah.
That's why he loves me. I'm not.
I would hide in the basement when people come over.
I would hide in the basement, hoping they'd come over. I'm going down to the basement.
So
I mean, into the basement at Tim's mother's house once because I love the smell of basements. I was waiting for you, Philip.
No, but
where are you, shy boy? Come out of the closet.
Right.
You seem so comfortable around Lydia, and she makes people feel comfortable. Shy people, I've seen it. Did you have social anxiety, or
actually still have that?
Except
but you look so,
the comforting hand of kindness.
You look so comfortable. You look so much at ease. It's amazing.
Okay, I forced him to have a little whiskey, which he doesn't usually drink.
Right.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so listen up, son. This is gonna be fun. Just listen up. No, Tim knows. For some reason, shy people, which I like, are sometimes more comfortable around me than.
Yeah.
It is strange. Yeah. I mean, I was afraid of you actually
until we met. The first time I put my hand on Tim, he was like, "Whoa," because he probably thought it was me like electrical volcano, but it was like, "Can you feel?" It's like so because that's part of my hypnosis, my physical, my wave therapy, Tim.
Well, listen,
same thing.
I'm glad.
What?
I'm happy that you feel you two feel so comfortable around each other, and that you feel. You don't come across that. That's why I had to bring it up. You don't come across as someone who has social anxiety, who's shy, because you seem very comfortable right now. But when I heard you saying that you didn't really go out to shows much, and you don't ask, you wait for people to come to you. That's what that means, probably usually.
Tim was never shy either. This is not.
No, never.
Tim and
I, the opposite.
Absolutely the opposite. But just how we are. But
well, it serves you well. I mean, you got to be the way you are.
Well, who else is going to be how I am? I mean, that'd be ridiculous. What a burden to bear. Oh my God. I offer this curse to no man or woman alive. I will take the blessings as I have them.
A shy version of myself or a shy version of Lydia, it wouldn't be us. I mean, it's that much in our character. We actually just wouldn't be us anymore at all.
Exactly.
I mean, it's another one of those emotions I've never experienced, because I'm a fembot. So many I haven't, and so many I'm happy to not have experienced.
Right.
Insecurity, fear, jealousy ones.
I mean, Lydia can be quiet and be
that's
alone, but that's not shy. That's something else.
If I get quiet and I start smiling, you better run. Oh, don't be so silly.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'm giving him a sly side eye and a smile. You're safe with
Do you
me.
go out in nature? Do you like to go out in nature, or do you just like to stay basically just your apartment or house?
Yeah, I kind of stay in my little world that I create here.
Well, this is so full of like visual stimulus, his art, other people's art, accumulation of things. I mean, this is not hoarding. It's a collection of incredible objects.
Thank you.
Well,
for hoarding.
It's not hoarding. No.
No, but another San Francisco brethren or whatever, Mark McLeod's house. I'm only looking through a screen, but I'm already sensing a similarity there. I don't know.
Well, and Mark McLeod.
I know Mark. Yeah,
Mark is
awesome.
a San Francisco hero.
Yeah.
And so when I have to tell the story again, Tim, because it's so hilarious. Simon and Weasel Walter were at Mark McLeod, so I've known him for years. I think he said the first time I met him, he had an exhibition and he had a throne, and I just went and sat in it. And he goes, "All right," many years ago. Anyway, we're at his place going to do a podcast, and you know how Mark is. He's kind of like he's a psycho, not kind of lackadaisical, talks kind of slow, doesn't move that fast. Genius. And Simon Slater, the producer, was going to plug something in. And this was just such a matter of intuitive, almost psychic concept that Simon's going to plug something in. Mark's sitting there, and he has this giant copper molecule that's about, I don't know, Tim, how big was it? Huge on a column.
Well, yeah, it's size of about 4 watermelons.
No, bigger than that. I mean, it was pretty huge. And from the look on Mark McLeod's face, who said nothing, Weasel somehow sensed that molecule was going to fall over and kill Simon. So he caught it just in time. And we're like, oh my God. But Mark McLeod would sit there and he would just reach behind him and pull out a record. He knew exactly where it was. And then, of course, all the numbered from the FBI sheets of acid art. Well, and how did you meet Mark McLeod?
Wow. I met Mark shortly after I moved here. A friend of mine from Portland, an artist friend, is good friends with him, and she kind of connected us. And
so you got to come over to. Did you go to his house?
No, he came over to mine.
Oh wow!
I was in a really bad financial situation, and I had this devil couch, and
a devil couch.
Yeah,
he had a devil couch.
Okay,
he's not a Satanist. He just
that's right
pretends to be.
That's fair.
I understand, because what is a Satanist? We'll talk about that later. I know, because I am one.
So he bought it to bail me out of my financial situation.
How kind. So can you describe awesome. This devil couch?
Well, it's still in his house, and one of the arms is falling off. But
so what made it a devil couch?
There's this beautifully carved
Dame horns.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
I actually bought that in New York, and I drove it. I put it on the back of my pickup truck, and I drove it all the way across country.
Isn't it strange what things? You moved back and forth across the country. I moved back and forth numerous times, and then out of the country. It's strange what one saves, because I've had to sell everything numerous times. I kind of have a well decorated but minimalist apartment because I sell or recycle everything. But it's bizarre what we can save. And the one thing that I can't even imagine how I've saved this for so long is this pair of size 3 cheetah fur Fredericks of Hollywood shoes for my aunt. My hand doesn't fit in them. They're so tiny. But somehow I managed to somehow hold on to these things for all the times I've moved over the decades. And I'm like, that's right, baby. You're not going anywhere. And you have the devil's couch. Right. And I often look online to see maybe they're worth like $1,000 because they're from the 50s. They're a little bit crunchy, let's face it. They're very old. The cheetah fur is kind of whatever. But it's bizarre what we hold on to or what we can't get rid of. Yeah. And then when you're in a place like this, you can't move. You are grinded into this joint.
The next move is kind of scary.
Unfortunately, it won't come quick.
That never.
Just Just do me a favor. Don't leave me in charge of your archives. I don't. Sorry, I could never move that cap. There's this incredible cabinet here that's about 5 feet by 6 feet tall, and it reminds me when I lived in Spain. Nobody wanted these beautiful carved cabinets because they all wanted IKEA shit because it was their granny shit. There are some pieces of furniture in here that must weigh about 800 pounds. I don't know how he got him in here, but he ain't going anywhere. This is just Philip Zimmerman's little. It kind of reminds me of when we went to Joe Coleman's place. I don't know if you went with me to Joe Coleman's, Tim.
I did not go. I don't think. I think Simon was there.
Right.
Interesting.
Yes.
Joe Coleman's a good friend and great artist too. So, all right, let's go back a little bit. So you're in Portland. What are you into as a teenager? How did you get into art? Fortunately, did you ever do music?
Yeah, I was in a band in Portland.
Why? Because you wanted.
I loved it.
What kind of band was that?
It was a punk band, sort of. I mean, it was like art band.
Art punk, the worst of all.
Yeah, the worst.
Well, wait, what was it like? You cut off. What was it like?
Art punk.
Okay.
But you gotta create. Doesn't matter how. And you know, music is a losing journey, people. Not that art is any matter, but you got to get it out of your system.
You do, and it's amazing the bonds.
And well, wait a minute. You socially reclusive. You're on stage.
I hid behind the speaker cabinets because I was a bass player.
Hid behind the speaker cabinet.
Whoa.
It's like when Kevin Shea is in an Airbnb and he piles up everything so that nobody sees even his elbow.
That was my first performance. I could not deal with it, but later on, I could kind of step forward.
What, just your head above the speakers then?
Right.
You were a bass player?
Yeah.
So you did the reverse Miles Davis. You didn't start out in front and then eventually turn your back on society.
Miles Davis from Philip Zimmerman. You can only see his eyebrows above the bass cabinet. So I don't know what they saw.
So you're like a peeping bass player.
Exactly.
Right.
And he didn't like what he saw, so eventually he decided to lock himself in a studio and create incredible works of art in all forms, where nobody can see what he does to those demon paintings, demon couches, handcuffs from a clock tower, skeletons on the other side, and every other thing that's in here.
Did you choose bass just to be able to participate in a band like this, or did you actually dive deep into the guts of the bass?
I bet he would have liked to crawl inside a stand-up bass and play it from the inside out.
It was a hollow body bass, but
you couldn't fit inside it though.
No.
That would have been amazing.
I think I was chosen to be the bass player by Jennifer LoBianco, who was one of the Neo Boys.
Okay.
Neo Boys was like a pretty well-known band at that point
in Portland. Yeah,
and she left and formed us, Randy and the Randys, and then we were all gay guys, and so then there was some kind of pushback about that a bit, but we actually, I thought we were pretty good,
and you had fun. That's it.
I loved it.
Standing behind the bass amp.
We still,
nobody can tell if you're wetting your pants or not.
That's right. We're still friends. That's the thing, is you build these bonds that last their entire life.
Yeah, we do.
As you know,
as we know.
Yeah.
We didn't even though we met that one time, I don't remember. That was the instigator for the fact we're here together. And now 45 or so more years later.
That is why I'm rather comfortable with you now.
Well. I'm not going to say anything to disturb that comfort zone for now, Philip. But let's just put it this way. I have entered into your sacred studio, and I will leave a little piece of myself behind so that maybe it'll just comfort you when you're feeling a little bit squeezy. Speaking about sleazy, when I say that word, my eye goes to a cop hat, a leather belt, handcuffs, and a black painted face of, I think, David the statue. So let's just say if you're feeling a little bit sleazy or queasy, a part of me will be here to comfort you. At least my picture's on the wall.
That's right.
I hope you just look at that and go, "Oh, my sister."
Well,
my brother.
One of the nicknames Lydia has for me is Sleazy T. I just think you like the word sleazy, Lydia.
I love the word sleazy. What are you talking about? I mean, what happened to good old fashioned Saline? Speaking of which, and again, this is kind of full circle. You were talking about Camille O'Grady at the Mine Shaft in New York, which I did not go to any of those male sex clubs at that point because I was too busy picking up boys on the sidewalk. But I did that on my own glory hole, and it wasn't in a wall. Let's just put it that way. But I did do a show the other night at the Eagle. Thank you, Mike Hoffman.
Whoa, okay.
Disco. It was fantastic. I like Mike's like 3-day warning. You want to do a show at the Eagle spoken word? Yeah, sure. Sure. And Brontez was there as well. And with a 3-day notice, first of all, everybody who worked there was amazing. Vibe was totally cool. People came, and it was a damn good time. So this is kind of full circle. Now,
I just didn't realize the Eagle had spoken word performances. I didn't even know that it happened there.
They do. They do a variety of things there, and that's the Eagle in San Francisco. So there's other locations, but
So I mean, the Eagle's like a franchise, but is it the same owner, or is there, how does that even work?
I don't know about that. But
owners,
when I hear the word "full of bears," I just want to get out my shears and start shaving. But everybody was so cool. The audience was so into it, and of course, I had to do my dear Ivanka. What the fuck is wrong, darling bass? Which I now have become a stand-up comic. In a sense, I've always been.
How did that go over at the Eagle?
Hell to the hey yo, yes, very good. People they were right there, and it was great. Is a lot of people are sitting on the floor, right close up, all different kinds of people, and I have to say, I will never do another spoken word show in San Francisco that is not at the Eagle.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Shout out to my friends, Bears and others. Because if I was, what am I saying? If I was a man, wait, come on. I just like to shave, so I ain't hairy. I'll say no more about that.
It was all
when
bears.
I hear bear, I'm like, keep your clothes on, motherfucker, or shave your back. Whatever turns you on, honey. And you know what? At this point, I'm still looking at them. I'm looking for something new. Turn me on, dead man. Oh, God, now I'm going after Ghost. I thought I choked on him. Now what? I want to give my... I'm going to stop because this is getting too vulgar. Even Big Lou is in the motherfucking house. That's my...
So once you moved to San Francisco, have you lived anywhere else since there, or you just kind of stayed there?
Other than Portland, New York, and...
But where you are now, like how long have you been where you are now?
I've been in San Francisco since '89. Yeah.
And
okay.
You said you moved. So we're in... Is this Burnell Heights?
This is Baby. Yeah.
So we're in a big warehouse in Philip's studio, which is great. I mean, you could not get this now if you were looking for a space to have all your goodies in.
Yeah.
Wait, right. How long have you been in this building? You've been here a while.
I've been in the building since
moving around in the building. So now you only move from floor to floor. Because there's a lot of
downstairs, which is
I bet you do. And that's hard enough moving from one space to another.
Right.
But do not leave me your archives, but we should think about that soon, just in case.
Right. I have been thinking.
Thank you. Yes. We can talk.
But I've been here since 19.
You can leave me. You can leave me in charge of Camille O'Grady's jewelry archives. I'll take good care. Okay. But I mean, it's just a wealth of fun in here. So do you spend your days, tell me about that. What do? You come here a lot just to be
isolated? Every day except Sunday. And I work, for my job,
you have a job,
self-employed, fixing furniture and stuff for people. That's what I do for
money. By the way, that is amazing as well. Now here's another thing we have in common. I don't fix furniture for money. I do like a staple gun. I do like to reupholster things, and I do like to paint furniture. So much of the stuff in my apartment I found in my very good neighbor's trash. I'm really into re-upping things like that. But I mean, I'm not going to go in, reupholster somebody else's fucking chair. There ain't enough money in that. But well, you gotta have something.
Right. That's what
especially if you don't want to leave the house.
Income. Right. And people interactions difficult, so this way it keeps that to a minimum.
Right, because you bring the furniture here, you do it, take it back.
Right. Or they bring it, which is even better, but it doesn't always happen.
Philip, you figured it out, my friend. So what is your speciality in like decorative furniture redoing? Like, do you prefer because you have some really amazing pieces in here that are, I don't even know what year some of these things are, but they're quite ornate. They're quite beautiful. They're humongous, classic. What would be your perfect recycling of somebody else's furniture other than the devil? Other than selling the devil couch,
right?
Which is arm is broken. Maybe you got to go repair. Maybe you can get more money out of Mark McCloud. He's got to repair the arm. I'm calling that guy up.
Right. I'm seeing him tomorrow. But,
well, you better ask him how much to repair the arm of the devil chair.
We've talked about it. He kind of likes it off, So, and he's in my film. We filmed in his house.
So now, first of all, favorite piece of furniture. Then we got to get to the film.
Okay.
What is your favorite thing to redo, and what do you do to it?
Well, what I do is I do like veneer repair and finish refurbishment.
So it's
like
kind of
woodwork.
artistic, though.
Yeah, it's always problem solving and a lot of visual problems that I have to resolve
and private in your house. That's right.
It's problem solving.
Now, so you said you were filming in Mark McCloud's house. Is this your film on Kenneth Anger?
Yes.
Tell us about that, please. What is it called? When is it? Is it out?
It is not out yet. We finished it. We finished the final edit a week before Kenneth died.
Amazing. So just start at the beginning of this. Why did you make a film about Kenneth Anger? Did you know him? What's it about?
I made a film about Kenneth because I loved him.
Right.
He's just an amazing guy, a magician, an artist.
Classic weirdo of the highest order.
Absolutely.
Highest order.
And very powerful. He was a very powerful
and
magician.
lived quite long, actually.
He did. He was 92 when we interviewed him.
Please don't curse me with another almost 25 years of this, but go ahead.
So we went down to San Pedro where he was living in.
Wait, how did you even meet him? Did you just decide I'm going to make a film about Kenneth Anger?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Yeah, I tried writing to him.
You went and knocked on his door?
And no, it didn't work out that way. I finally had to go through the manager.
Okay. Like he even had one, but amazing.
Right, he did. Who was a gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper, yeah. And so we negotiated and got an hour of Kenneth in front of the camera. We went down to LA, filmed an interview with him there. And from that, we built kind of organically this story about him invoking Lucifer in San Francisco at the Straight Theater in 1967.
Amazing. So
I wanted to investigate that.
Pardon me?
I wanted to investigate that incident because there's a lot of legend about it. Like it just blew up or whatever. And so we went deep into that story. And from there, I started looking around and I found Timothy Doan, who was the person who was his high priestess in the film Invocation of My Demon Brother. And she was also the brother and sister of the moon in that actual ritual.
And how old was she at this point?
She was in her 80s. She's or late 70s. She's 82 now. I just saw her like 15 minutes before you showed up here. She's amazing. She is a priestess of Hecate.
Yes.
She lives up on Bernal.
Oh, it's amazing.
So we're friends now, and she's like so
all right. So you decide, I'm going to make this film. I get a hold of the manager. You get an hour with Kenneth Anger.
Right.
How old was he at that point? I mean,
92.
Right before he died.
Right. It was
fortunately really good timing. And then you built the film around this.
Right.
And so what stage is it in now? Is it edited, or you have a few more pieces you have still?
It's finished, but we're using 30 seconds of Kenneth's Invocation of My Demon Brother and Inauguration of the Pleasure Dome. So it's 30 seconds combined. And so we've been in talks with the estate now about how
that's
to
what the problem
license it. Yeah.
I mean, come on. Nobody else is going to do this. You did it. Right. Just give the rights. Yeah. Did Jimmy Page do music for a Kenneth Anger film?
He did, but Kenneth decided not to use it, although it's been released.
Yeah, I've heard it, and I actually think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did Kenneth Anger first come out? What was his first thing that he did? Because we just know that he's been around forever.
Right. Well, legendarily speaking, his first film that's still extant is Fireworks from 1947. So they say he was like around 17 when he made this. And it's amazing.
And filmed on what? What did he film it on?
I think it's like 16
millimeter. Amazing.
and he filmed it at his parents' home when they were gone. And it's just a gorgeous black and white film.
Which always is my preference anyway.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen it, look it up. You can find it online, and it is a really powerful
47 when he was 17. Amazing.
And it's got like the sailors that beat him up.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like.
Because he was pushing many envelopes, not only,
exactly.
you know, I mean, just many envelopes he was there to push.
Exactly.
Through his films and just through his existence.
So
and also the people he touched. I mean, a lot of people.
Yes.
I mean, he's kind of, in a sense, like Aleister Crowley, in one sense, that this magical, weird, espousing, creating creature that has poked into a lot of people's psyche.
Yes, and Crowley was one of Kenneth's heroes. So he was.
I understand.
And so, and I saw when I was in art school, I was having a really difficult, emotional time. But when I saw fireworks, that really kind of catalyzed everything for me, and I was able to like pull myself.
What helps you identify that with other.
That my weirdness was okay. Basically, that's what it helped.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Philip, but your weirdness is very okay, my friend. No, you're going to become a bowl of gelatin. Or maybe a jellyfish.
Right.
You're going to say, damn, I'm too relaxed. Not going to sit around sipping whiskey and looking at my collection here. That bitch put a voodoo hex on me that's like, I'm not even sure I like it. I'm like too comfortable. I'm very comfortable in my skin because you know what? Nobody else can fucking live in this. So, I mean, I better be comfortable.
Well, that's something that I really identify with you. When I saw that show with Retrovirus.
Because he was at the Retrovirus show, Tim.
Which one?
The one in that big brick building. I don't remember the name of the club.
Big, the one with the terrace stairs.
What?
The stage was like all terraced out. That one.
I have no idea. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. When you saw that,
when I saw that, and like, wow, you can still do it at this age.
Thank you very much, my friend.
No, because I've seen
it
you haven't
seen me, right? Because you've seen some things throughout the
right, and then you were still bringing it at a level that I was like, holy shit,
there's hope for me too,
yes,
right? For you,
exactly. It's like I can still do this
because you know what? Age is a number. Time is one long second that goes on forever.
Exactly.
Tomorrow is just a place. It's just a place we're all looking for.
And if you let the culture like mind fuck you about ageism,
sexism,
and what you can do,
sex,
exactly.
repression, and I mean, and that's the thing. First of all, I don't give a shit what anybody has said, will say, or does say, and I'm not on social media that way. Read my billboards, Facebook, Instagram. I don't run them. I don't give a shit. And you are only as explosive and mandatory as you are, and that doesn't have an age.
Yes. Yes.
And when you're done, you're done.
That's right.
And I mean,
and you're not done yet.
Well,
that's clear.
But this, I see a skeleton in this place, but I'm more like into Gunther von Hagen body worlds, and I'm thinking of just being stuff sent on tour with a voice box because I'm just not going to fucking shut up. Face it. I'm going to be talking even beyond the grave, and I pity anybody that has the ears open to hear that tongue go in deep. God damn, I'm a poet today.
I love
See what
it.
you bring out in me?
I love it. I mean, and Camille was kind of like that too. She was really connected to dead people. She had people talking at her all the time. And that was amazing.
And that's why she survived the near murder.
Exactly.
She was in touch with the other side already, and that terrified them.
Yes.
This is why I'm still alive.
Yeah. Yeah. I recognize it in you.
Because I have no fear. So what are they going to pray at? Hello. Let's not go back to the 500 truck driving serial killers. Unless we have to. Timothy Dole, anything else?
I guess I'm going to get a beer and go in the waves.
Are you going to go shark hunting?
They shut the beach down so many times this weekend for sharks, but you know me. I secretly want to be attacked by a shark, but I don't want to die. I want that experience.
Timothy, let's reveal. I don't know if we said this on the last podcast, but what did we do on our recent tour? What did we do one night? We were in a room and watched what? The Shark Whisperer.
The Shark Whisperer. Yeah, correct.
I love sharks. Tim loves sharks.
Wow.
I highly recommend the Shark Whisperer, who is this hot babe who, since 2006, has been, I mean, they kill 100 million sharks a year. Come on. Sharks.
100 million a year. It's so dumb.
Sharks kill 10 people a year. And she's swimming with sharks, holding onto the fins, petting their nose. And I'm like, I just want to hug the back of a shark.
Wow.
Because I think I could calm them down. Being a bit of a shark myself. Tim and I were like, after a gig, we're like, nope, we're watching the Shark Whisperer. And he goes, not many of my friends like sharks except for you. I'm like, I love sharks. I am Shark Week. Every week of my life is Shark Week.
Yes.
If my spirit animal is either a shark or what, Tim? A squirrel.
All right.
Let's just say it goes one way or the other, no biggie. So Tim Dahl is going to go, once again, risk his own life to go pet the nose of a shark. Well, he's never pet my nose to calm me down. All right, Jim, don't touch the nose. Don't mess my makeup.
Yes. And I'm upset there's no squirrel sharks. There's squirrel monkeys. But why aren't there any squirrel sharks?
Okay, Tim, let's not go into the giant squirrels of India, which are multicolored.
I don't want to talk about that. Digress.
They're giant, and they're colored purple, blue, pink, chestnut. Oh, if only. Squirrels used to be a very common pet in the 17 and 1800s, which is one of the centuries part of me lives in. Marquis de Sade and I'm just saying. Anyway, this is the Lydia and Spin with Lydia Lunch, Tim Dahl, Philip Zimmerman, incredible artist of the highest order, doing all kinds of montages, paintings, assemblages, furniture, stories to boot. And I'm right now just touching and actually vibing on the jewelry of somebody that, even though I didn't know Camille Grady, I feel a kinship to what they were. And I'm glad they survived the attack, but there will come a day when all of us, except for me maybe, will die. Or as that one cunt in Congress said, well, we're all going to die when they're like complaining about
that shit.
We're all going to die. You know what? Some of us not soon enough. And by the way, shoot to the fucking head, just to quote a rapper. This is the Lydia and Spin with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl. Yep.
Bye.